Hello, everybody! Anime Reflux. Yay!
Hello.
You know what's great? Anime adaptations
What
of MMOs. I'm lying. It's not true at all.
did it? Was it not good?
I'm gonna preface this one by saying this was a first draft.
Hmm.
That's my theory.
Yeah.
They did one pass and they're like, "Yep, we nailed it. Don't need to send it to an editor. Don't need to like, do like a check of things, see if it's consistent or if it makes sense. We nailed it. We got this. They didn't got this."
That's not something that you should ever do, really. You should never accept something after the first draft.
Yeah, I mean it to an extent it depends on what the writing process is. Like if it's multiple, Zero, could you do me a favor and check who the writers were for the show? Because it might be the case that
I
it was,
will look it up.
yeah, if it was a single writer, then I'm probably right. If it's multiple writers, that's harder to forgive.
Okay.
Because if it's a single writer, and there are ways to do a first draft and do it well, even though it's a first draft, and that's by constantly questioning everything you put down on paper before you even continue, which is how I tend to do things.
So, Blade and Soul is now after that, in which Hiroshi Hamasaki and Hiroshi Takeuchi directed the anime at Studio Gonzo from scripts by Atsuhiro Tomioka.
So just one writer. That's
Just
Hiro
one
Tomioka?
writer, but
I know that name.
yeah, Atsuhiro Tomioka, who, if I pull it up right now, worked on series composition and script for Baki the Grappler, for Beyblade Burst, did the script for 4 episodes of Berserk, worked on the script for Dragon Ball Super, Fairy Tail,
Pokemon?
Pokemon, I believe. Pokemon. Lots of Pokemon.
Yep. That's how I know it, because fucking Suede Reviews doing reviews of the anime for Pokemon, and he constantly calls out the writers that he likes and dislikes. I can't remember which this guy was, but yeah, his name comes up a lot. Anyway, yeah, so this feels like that guy did a first draft and just went, cool, done. And that's not a great way to do things, generally. Like, my excuse for why I can do that and do it okay is partially an excuse, yes. It can theoretically be done. It's not a guarantee at all. Like, I'm dancing on the edge of a volcano kind of thing when I do things, so, But, yeah. So, this is an anime for a game. There's not really anything that makes me want to play the game here. It's kind of a kitchen sink fantasy sort of thing, it looks like, where it's anachronistic, people using knives and swords and shit, while also there's other people using guns regularly, like handguns.
Mm-hmm.
And blocking bullets with swords and things like that. That's, it's that kind of series.
Sorry. Just to make sure I was awake.
Yeah. So this one starts with a white-haired woman, not a girl, too old, who is ambushed, kind of, by a bunch of military dudes who all get in a line very obviously to just sort of wall her off in one direction and just stand there for a few seconds before shouting fire, and then they shoot her. Anime drama kind of thing. And she kills them all because she's a ninja.
Yes, that's totally it.
Yeah.
She's just a ninja.
Yep. And then we move on to a town city type place where there is a bar or brothel or something along those lines, and some of the soldiers from that previous scene, well, not literally, but same type, show up and they're like, hey, we're hunting this person. There's a bounty on their head, and then there's a cat girl that's in a bikini, and she's like, yeah, okay, I'll find them. And the other people in the bar are not entirely on board with whatever this army is that they don't explain. They're just like, yeah,
We're here from the Param Empire, and we're looking for somebody. Reward is 7,000 gold. Do it.
Yeah.
And girl in like bikini is like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah. And then we move back to white-haired woman ninja who is bathing in a lake, as you do, that kind of scene. And there's a dude that's watching her, and she pulls her knife from out of the water where she had hidden it.
She before that happens, she does get a flashback to this what looks to have one point been like a flower field and like a town burning, and somebody telling her to take revenge.
So she sneaks up on this dude that's peeping on her and puts a knife to his throat. And then another dude shows up, and dude with a knife to his throat pisses himself in fear. And the other dude is like, hey, work for us? I guess? Kind of thing. Just, yeah. She's
We'll
like,
pay you.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
We don't agree with those Param guys, and we need somebody to help with that. And she's like, Param? I don't like those guys. Okay, sure.
And her clothes are apparently ruined with blood, I guess, is kind of the implication.
She just killed a bunch of people in the intro scene.
So he gives her his poncho type garment to wear, which pretty much doesn't cover anything because, it's a fucking poncho and she's not wearing anything else. And she rides on the back of their cart, I want to say it was. I don't know. It's not really important. To this village where everything's nice and idyllic, so everything's going to burn down by the end of the episode, because that's how this sort of thing rolls. And this scene is the first and only instance I needed to know that this was a first draft. It's not the only instance there was, but it's the only one that I needed. And that is, they go to meet with the leader of the village, and she is a girl, actually a girl this time because she's supposed to be young and naive, I guess. Now I say that because that's her characterization for the rest of the episode. Young, naive, not prone to violence, just kind of lets everyone else do the fighting for her because it's not her bag. Yet her introduction, on being told that this girl is now going to work for them as a soldier, ninja, is she chucks a knife at her in the face. And Ninja just sort of weave dodges it, rushes her, and puts a knife in her face. And she does the snake thing of, "You're pretty good."
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of a little bit conflicting.
Well, that doesn't quite line up at all.
Yeah, that is why this is a first draft because they had this great idea for introducing this character and she's going to look really cool doing this and stuff because Solid Snake did it, and that's why it's cool because Solid Snake was cool, not realizing that that kind of action is done to demonstrate a character is kind of a hardcore motherfucker that does not screw around. Or if they do screw around, they screw around with life-endangering actions.
She threw that knife straight.
Yep, directly at her face. And yet, later in the episode, she does nothing and shies away from fighting. Meow. So, yeah, this... If there had been someone who looked over the script and went, yeah, that doesn't line up with the rest of this, it wouldn't have been in the episode. They would have done something else. But, no. So, first draft. So, yeah. Ninja Lady is now working for them, and she has a couple of scenes of just hanging around the village and talking to... I say talking to, I mean a guy that is paid attention to for about 20 seconds for some reason. Talks at her and tells her about the things he wants to do with his life. For no reason. And then she talks to the village leader, who is like, yeah, I'm the leader. Since something happened to my dad, I didn't actually catch that bit because I wasn't paying entirely too much attention at this point. But yeah, she's in charge now and she wants to go and see the ocean, yada yada, basic characterization stuff.
Our main character, by the way, says almost nothing this entire episode.
Yep, pretty much. Which would be fine if they were telling the story with her actions instead of her words. But they kind of don't do that either.
A lot of the time, she's just staring blankly ahead while other people talk around her.
So we get to the climactic showdown where the Param Empire show up because they'd been talking in the village about how the Param were buying up all of the villages in the surrounding area, and they knew they were next. So the Param show up, and they're like, hey, we're going to buy your village. They don't say we want to, they say we're going to. And then the villagers are like, hell no, fuck you, fuck the police, and that kind of attitude, which is not exactly diplomatic, but okay. And the Param's reaction is, well, we weren't really giving you a choice. We'll take it by force if we have to. We're perfectly fine with doing that. And so they fire on the village leader. And the ninja catches the bullet and kills two of their dudes. And the village leader says, no, stop. So Ninja Lady does. And the Param leave because they see Ninja Lady's tattoo. Also because she's a badass and, you know, they're going to come back with more forces because they had like 5 dudes. So, reason number 2 that this was a first draft. We then move on to the village leadership having a discussion about what to do now. And in this discussion, they blame the Ninja Lady for everything. For some reason.
Well, they're like, the Param guys recognized her. She said she was used by Param. Do you think she's a spy? It's like, no, she killed 2 guys.
Yeah.
For Param. Well, you know, there's a target on her. We can't have her be in this place. They don't even know that there's a bounty out for her.
Mm-hmm.
At this point.
And then they complain that she let them go.
Yeah.
I'm going to flash back to about 45 seconds ago in this episode of the show we're doing right now, where I said the village leader told her to stop, so she stopped. And then they complain that she let the Param guys go.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty bad. It gets worse.
And then we also have the fact that she actually has nothing to do with why Param are hostile now, because they already said, we'll just take this place by force then, which had nothing to do with the badass ninja lady.
Let's just burn the entire village down.
Like, at that point, who fucking cares if they're after the ninja lady too? Like, they're gonna come here in force anyway, so let her stay so she can fucking kill them. And it's supposed to be like this moral quandary, like, is the village leader doing the right thing by letting her stay for long and by not making the decision immediately? Like, fucking no. No, it's stupid. It makes no sense.
So,
For whatever she decided was irrelevant anyway.
I'm sorry?
at the time.
You're a little quiet.
I said whatever she would decide would be irrelevant anyway, because the soldiers only came to the village after they bombarded it with flaming arrows, rendering it pretty much unsalvageable.
Yep. So yeah, that was that scene. That was stupid. And then we go to Param throne room council place where leadership are. We literally know nothing about these guys except they're apparently the bad guys, but okay. And they're talking like, okay, we think we found the ninja lady. So like, and then there is this incredibly elaborate door that opens, and there is a giant muscle-bound guy behind it, who I have to assume had just been waiting behind that door for a while.
Because like it's like, okay, well, now that she's been revealed, she's probably moved on. So we should probably send somebody out to go and pursue her. And then he's like, well, I've got it. I'll handle it.
Now that I am free from my gigantic clockwork door, I'll get on the case.
He was shown earlier in the episode.
Was he? Okay. Sure. Just the door
But,
really tickled me.
So his idea is to, at night, bombard the entire thing with artillery, and then send in soldiers and kill everything that moves.
Yep. And so they do that. Village is burning, and the guy that hired Ninja Girl lady, keep doing that. Need to stop. It's anime bias talking. He hands the village leader a gun that she's like, a gun? I don't know what to do with the... Okay. And so they go out into the village. All of the dudes get killed in one punch.
Because
okay.
the big guy like supercharges himself and is like glowing blue, and he starts punching things and people, and they die.
A bit of elaboration that we glossed over. I didn't really care that much, but just for fairness' sake, there's a special kind of flower in the kingdom that they're trying to cultivate, because when it's made warm, it gives off a special hallucinogen, I want to say. Some sort of gas that has an effect on the ones around it, everything around it. And so the Harem Kingdom is basically just trying to cultivate that plant anywhere and everywhere. And this guy is having the super serum that he downed is apparently cultivated from those flowers.
Right. Yeah. I remember the thing about the hallucinogen stuff being mentioned once. Apropos of nothing, if memory serves, but yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So, big dude he kills all of the guys in the village and ignores the village leader for reasons probably related to her not doing anything. Again, the knife throwing, inconsistent character. And they have a fight scene, and he dies. I don't really care to elaborate. He dies. And then at some point it's brought up that the ninja woman, killed the master, whoever.
Yeah, it's brought up several times that she is wanted for killing the master. Who the master is, what the master is never elaborated on.
But apparently this leader of a bumpkin village in the middle of nowhere knows exactly who the master is. Not that she's willing to tell us, the audience. Because she's like, hey, did you really kill the master? It's like, okay. And then they're gonna go off and do some revenging, I guess. And as a symbol of that, the ninja lady chops off her hair for some fucking reason.
I wanted to get into this. This is so typically in an anime, it's like the chopping off the short hair, the long hair to make it short, usually carries some sort of symbolism or it's a result of something. In this case, it is, I guess, because she wanted a haircut.
Yeah.
Just grabs their hair and cuts it.
That, or this is just me trying to come up with an explanation. She saw what she failed to prevent happening to her in the past happening in front of her again, so it's just a mark of atonement, but I have no idea.
We can't write the story for the writers,
Yeah.
Like, if they're not going to give us any sort of indication as to what she is thinking, whether that, like, because they gave us some with, like, the little brief flashback, but we still don't know the full context of what that means for her. She wants revenge, yeah. But it doesn't help that she hasn't really spoken. We haven't seen any internal dialogue. She's expressionless. So
It could also be that they designed her character model already for the game, and now they're matching it to line up with that.
Because at the end of the episode, after the ending, there is a brief, like, here's a little bit about the world. The Sarugi clan is a group of assassins, and they're usually emotionless.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks
like,
for
okay.
not telling us in the show. Like,
Thanks for telling me at the end of that.
Yeah, Patient mentioned there was exposition after the credits, and you know what? I don't watch post-credit scenes, because you know what's usually in post-credit scenes? Spoilers for the next episode that I don't want to watch. So, yeah. Like, I'm gonna borrow and probably butcher and paraphrase a quote from Roger Ebert, because I'm that kind of snobbish arsehole today, where he was talking about Battlefield Earth, which was a film shot almost entirely at Dutch angles, at a tilt. And he was like, apparently the director has heard that good directors sometimes tilt the cameras, but he does not know why. That's what this feels like. The "you're pretty good" scene that is not at all used for this type of character, and the chopping off of the hair scene that usually requires a little bit more context than fucking nothing. Yeah. It's just using things it's seen in other better things and just hoping it works.
It's not great.
right, yes. I was talking about the film version, so nothing to do with L. Ron Hubbard, so nothing to do with Scientology, but yes, that story was written by the founder of Scientology. So yeah, this was not a good one. Like, even aside from all of the really not very good plot or characterization or entire lack of exposition, like I'm not even sure this would be like fun to watch for people that like the game and have a little bit more context for whatever this is. Like, okay, like I remember the comments for the episode, and I was super confused because, like, on the first episode, the first comment was like, "Yeah, this game is this anime is garbage. It has nothing to do with the game. It's all fan service and also super feminist," which at the time did not make sense. It still kind of doesn't make sense, but yeah, lack of plot is definitely a thing, and if it even has nothing to do with the stuff in the game, I don't know who this is for.
I don't hate what I just saw, but I sort of like how they just killed off the characters with no hesitation whatsoever. Just you introduce these characters, spend the episode getting to know them, and then cut, gone forever. I sort of like that unexpected thing, but that's really the only interesting thing I can say about the show. I don't hate it, but it didn't grab my attention at all.
That's the thing, though. It's not unexpected because these are fodder characters. I don't even know if we got their names.
We did.
Did we?
The brother was named Koga. I know that for certain. The one who had hired her, and her the main character also had a name.
Yeah, she did, obviously.
But
I mean, like the
did
pants
get
pissing
named.
dude and other random
Yeah,
dude.
he was named. He was named the random dude. The guy who hired her was Koga. I remember, and he also
Not
called
him,
out
the other
name of
guy,
his brother.
the blonde guy that just sort of rocks up and tells the ninja girl his
I'm
life
not
story.
sure got his name though. I'm not sure. I know the brothers though.
Yeah.
Apparently, this anime has nothing to do with the actual story of the game.
Yeah.
Like, it uses the world, but not at all the main story of the game.
This is a pretty common setup for a hero's journey kind of thing. Like, it's literally the you can never go home again. Only it's for our secondary character of the village leader rather than the protagonist. Like, okay. Yeah. Oh, and as for the feminist and fan service thing that I should probably comment on because I did bring it up. There are no male characters of consequence in this show. Like, we have the village guys that are just there to die in one punch, and we have big muscly guy that is there to die in the first episode. Aside from them, the entire cast is female, which I don't think that makes it feminist because otherwise Queen's Blade would be feminist. I don't think that's true. But it's absolutely fan service. I can agree with that. There is the bikini girl. There is the protagonist spends most of the time basically naked. Yeah. Well, about a third of the episode, let's call it. So, yeah. There's not much I would actually come to this show for.
Yeah, I think just thinking over all the aspects, the animation was nothing special. The music soundtrack wasn't special. The
I don't
the
remember there
ending.
being a lot of animation.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Uh-huh.
There's multiple fights, but nothing really happens.
Yeah, a lot of it is just Ninja Girl vanishes and then she is suddenly killing the dude, or about to kill the dude, or threatening him with a knife.
Which is annoying because she has a sword that has a split-off blade that shoots off like a sort of chain on a chain sort of thing, which is like that has a lot of potential for good animation, but it's not really used to its full potential. And the ending is literally just a gif of a butterfly flying while the music plays. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see not exactly trying really hard for that good anime title, you know.
Yeah, and the opening. This is probably something that's gonna be relevant to Zero more than anyone else. But hey, Zero, remember when we did the fucking Zero Interest watch through of Ruby?
Yes.
And we did season 4, and the opening was generic anime opening.
Yes.
This is pretty much that, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well.
You get your character introductions with their faces. You get your like upbeat sort of music, getting you all excited, and it's just like
getting you kind of excited, but not too excited. Like this is a show, all right. It's probably got some action in it, I guess. I don't know.
This is playing after the short intro in which she just murders people. You'd think they'd pick a different sort of tone for their opening if it's about revenge and murder.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's time to roll a new one. Yay!
Here, let us hope for another pleasant surprise.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I like surprises that are pleasant.
I like surprises that are unpleasant too. Like, I did not find anything to like about this show, but I found some stuff that was interesting to talk about, at least.
So it's 1 to 26, yeah?
Yep.
Yep.
Or old to 26.
Numbers, then.
Numbers.
17 minus 5, 12.
1.
Dot hack, Legend of the Twilight. Legend of the Twilight.
Boy. It does not have a summary. It just says dot hack, Legend of the Twilight. Released in 2003. Okay, this is not actually the first series of Dot Hack.
I know. When I was building the list, I presented 3 different Dot Hack shows, and you said to put all of them on.
I did.
You did. Of course, if you want to print on that now.
They are very different.
Okay, let's go with this one then, I guess. Sorry. I'm reading the comments and someone actually wrote a comment that just says veto. I mean, does that count? I guess that's one vote for the group veto.
Does the comment section get their own veto?
This will be the first time.
I'm willing to throw in my group veto for this just because that's funny.
I'm going to throw my group veto.
Sure, why not?
Alright, I guess we're skipping it. Fuck it.
I don't even know if this would be any good or not. I just kind of want to That's too historic not to.
From the top,
Okay.
From the top,
6.
that would be F.
That one's not fun to shout.
39.
Spitting everywhere.
39. Steak. 3.
3. Wow, it's a big name here. Fate Stay Night.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've got to find. There's a lot of Fate stuff here, so I just. That raises a question of which one we watch, because they're all technically first. There's, the original, and then there's Unlimited Blade Works, which is just a different version of the same story. Actually, I'm trying to find the original Fate Stay Night, and Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Feel, Fate Zero. Not seeing the original.
I know it's on High Dive, which is connected. If you have Verve, you can get the original Dean Stay Night.
Or let me put this out there. We could watch Unlimited Blade Works, which is the good one.
It's a long first episode on Unlimited Blade Works, but yeah.
I'm ambivalent.
Wait, what is? Oh, there's a film version. That's why. Yeah. Okay.
There's a film version of Unlimited Blade Works.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of want to do Unlimited. I've never actually seen it.
You haven't?
No, I only watched the abridged one.
If they're all technically first, then why not go with the one that we know to be the best? The only alternative would be, well, just taking one at random.
Well,
I mean,
I did.
They're all different versions of the first. At least the regular and Unlimited Blade Works are. So.
Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Feel, and then Fate Stay Night, and then Fate Zero is the prequel to all 3.
Yeah. So Heaven's Feel is actually a series of films, so we can't do that one.
Yeah.
So it'd be a choice between the very first one, which is bad, and
I don't want
this
to
one.
watch. I've watched Dean Stay twice. I don't want to watch it again.
Put it to a vote. Democratic.
I'm done with Unlimited Blade Works.
I have no preference either way.
Okay, I guess that's
Lester?
at the very worst. That's 2 to ambivalent to 1, even if Slicer said no. So
I don't really mind either way. They're all decent in my eyes. So
cool.
Unlimited Blade Works next week.
Yay, Rinroot.
Yay. The guys in the Discord are going to actually watch this one.
Maybe. One can hope. I
Let's
don't
bring
know.
back
Re-watches them. Or listens to them at work, rather. I mean, you can't watch them anyway. It's an audio show.
So thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next week with that.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Why are you doing the accent?
Look,
Oh, no.
I just can't help it. I have
feel
no
like-
control over myself.
I feel like it could have helped it, but whatever.
Bye bye.